It's not just Britain that's suffering extreme weather events just now. Indonesia has suffered torrential rain, whilst the United States has been split between fierce drought and Arctic conditions. And what's more, it could be linked to what is happening right here. So is it all about climate change? Our science editor, Tom Clarke, with help from our correspondents in Asia and North America, has this report.
The floodwater in Thames Valley villages like Wraysbury still hasn't gone away. And with rain from yet another spectacular storm today, there'll be more flooding to come. So don't think of jumping in a car around here anytime soon. As you paddle your canoe down a suburban street near a city that's had to deploy its emergency flood barrier 33 times since January the 1st, in a country that's had nearly 6 months of rainfall in just 6 weeks, it's reasonable to ask if that climate change we've been talking about is finally here. Well, the Met Office seemed to think so. In a report released this week, it concluded all available evidence suggests a link to a warming world. Take the storms, unusually frequent and powerful, heading straight into us off the Atlantic. Then the rain. There's evidence recent heavy rainfall events bring a bit more rain than historical rainfall extremes. And that's meant our rivers, like the Thames, have flooded higher for longer than previously recorded. But it's what's happening elsewhere on the planet that links our misery to global warming. Thousands of miles away in the Pacific, unusually warm oceans caused wild weather too.
You may not have heard at the time, but December and January were exceptionally wet in Indonesia. More than 20 people lost their lives, and tens of thousands were displaced by heavy rain, landslides and flash flooding. Those storms also pushed the Pacific jet stream, a narrow, fast-flowing wind, to the north, and that changed the world's weather. So if you want to lay the blame somewhere, you could try Indonesia.
And it matters because the Pacific jet stream's reach extends all the way to California.
We're here by the San Fernando Valley on the northwestern side of Los Angeles County. And people around here tell me it's rained just once in the past 9 months. You can see just how dry the conditions are. It's actually winter here, but January saw record scorching temperatures, at one point reaching 32 degrees Celsius. 60% of California is now in extreme drought. The governor of California has declared a state of emergency. California is no stranger to drought, but what's happening here is unprecedented.
But it doesn't end on the west coast. The irregular jet stream over North America was further intensified by this winter's polar vortex there. It sent the rest of America's weather haywire, like this week's ice storm in deep South Alabama. And it's the intense North Atlantic jet stream that was the main player in driving storms to us. So do the semi-aquatic residents of Wraysbury blame global warming?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
What's your views on climate change now?
So climate change, I'm not being cynical, I'm still sitting on the fence on that.
I'm just a great believer, these things happen every now and then.
And you just got to put up with them?
Suddenly get a summer of 5 months, bone dry and everything else, it's climate change and everything. So I'm a little not so sure.
Others are far more convinced.
Hello?
We had expected global warming, so it's a bit depressing that it's come in terms of torrential rain.
And hurricanes, and I mean, it's not just us, it's the whole of the country, the coast.
Yeah.
Up north now they're getting terrible weather, so I think this government and the next government should think about the way we deal with climate change very seriously.
No one who really understands climate change is arguing that it dooms our planet to perpetual extremes of weather like this. But basic physics dictates that as our planet warms, such extreme weather events will become more frequent. So by the time these floodwaters subside, it's likely that more people than ever will be convinced our climate is changing. Tom Clarke, Channel 4 News in Wraysbury.